As of tomorrow, it will be the longest in American history. The House has not been in session for 6 weeks.
Well, we've done our work.
Well, you passed the clean government resolution, clean funding resolution, but obviously there are negotiations to be had.
Well, I would argue not just we've done our work and we passed it. We passed what they all agreed to, what the Democrats all agreed to 6 months ago. So that to me is like, that's why the Speaker said we've passed it now 14 times. They've tried to pass it in the Senate. And unfortunately, they're not listening to John Fetterman. Senator Fetterman said, we should pass this. We should move on. This is ridiculous. So, but I've also been back in town the last 3 weeks. Last 4 weeks. I come in every week and do work that I think is important for the folks in the 4th District, important for the country, namely some of the oversight duties we have as members of Congress.
But obviously, though, there are disagreements. The Democrats want some changes to health care policy in terms of extending the Obamacare subsidies, et cetera. Isn't part of the job, not necessarily just you, but all members of Congress to be negotiating and figuring out a path out of this?
Everyone's been clear on our side. Look, open the government. We'll be happy to talk about that. I think it's kind of strange that they brought it up. They won't vote for what they voted for before, and they bring this up and say, "Oh, we."
It's not exactly the same thing as it was before.
It's a continuing resolution, which means you continue the exact funding level you were at that they all voted for. That's why they called it a continuing resolution.
But you made
exactly the same.
You made major changes to health care policy in the intervening times with the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. That's what Democrats are objecting.
They shut down the government because they're concerned about a policy that doesn't kick in until the end of the year. We're saying keep the government open. Don't jeopardize our pay for our folks in uniform who serve our country and defend our country. Don't jeopardize the pay of air traffic controllers and hurt Americans who are getting close to the travel season. Don't jeopardize payments to people on the SNAP program. All that we say, like, just get the government open and we'll talk about it. But again, they picked an issue where Obamacare, where they extended the subsidy, they set the deadline for this. They're the ones who extended this subsidy. Now they want to do it again for Obamacare, which is something everything they told us about turned out not to be true. Like your plan, keep your plan. Like your doctor, keep your doctor. Premiums will go down. President Obama said premiums will go down on average $1,500.
Wow, I feel like
family.
it's like
well, now
10 years
here we
ago,
are.
15 years ago.
Well, I
feel like I'm in a time warp.
That's what they're trying to do. It is a time warp because none of that's
Except
changed.
they were the
Facts
ones
are
shutting
facts.
down the government ban.
Well, I just mean about the keep your doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Can we talk about the elections?
Sure. It is an election day.
It is an election day, and I have not talked to one Republican who has been bullish about how Republicans are going to fare from coast to coast, from California to New Jersey, maybe the Attorney General race in Virginia. As somebody who has a gavel, what are you looking at when you think about 26?
I do feel good about the Attorney General's race here in Virginia. I think Jack Ciattarelli's run a good campaign. We'll see what happens in New Jersey. I think he's got a real chance. But the context is 3 blue states and a real blue city. And you're all saying, oh, this will be a mandate against the Republicans and President. Are you kidding me? Like Kamala Harris won. My guess is she won all 4 jurisdictions. I bet she won New York City. I know she won New Jersey. I know she won Virginia.
I'm sure you
I know she won California. So 3 blue states and 1 really blue city.
Yeah, that's
yet
true.
It's somehow it's going to be Republicans have a bad night if we don't win.
Purplish. But I take your point, though. There are pockets within each state, particularly in New Jersey, where Donald Trump did so much better in 24 than he did in 2020. So are you looking at that, particularly with demographics, younger people, Latinos, to see how that could fare when he's not on the ballot and you are?
I think there's likely to be one big takeaway from today's election, from tonight's election and the results, and that's the mayor of New York. I mean, I do. Like, it's a socialist. They're going to elect a socialist. I mean, I was telling someone earlier today, I remember like 30-some years ago, I competed in what was then the Soviet Union. Tell people, you go to places like that, you thank the good Lord you live here. And I remember walking into a store. First, I remember Moscow. We were there in February. Moscow in February.
It's not a political competition.
I understand, but it's like...
No, I just want you to clarify when you say competed.
What's that?
You said you competed in the Soviet Union.
For athletics.
Oh, no, I was wrestling.
You weren't running for office.
Exactly.
In Stalin.
I just want to make sure that our audience understands what you mean.
Well, I don't think they thought. I was wrestling there. But you walk into a store, there's nothing on the shelf. And that's what Mamdani is promising. We're going to have government-run stores in New York City. I don't think that's their guy. That's the guy that the party is now embracing.
And he's your guy.
Well, that's how.
Should the president have endorsed Cuomo?
That's how crazy the world's become. That this guy is so bad that we're now for the former governor in New York who shut down the whole state during COVID, and we criticize. I mean, that's how ridiculous it is, because so far left the Democrat Party is.
Didn't House Republicans refer Cuomo to the U.S. Attorney's Office here in
remember,
D.C.?
but I remember he came in and we asked him some questions in a hearing.
Like to echo the
relative to COVID. I was on that
president's
committee.
Yeah, you were on the
Like to echo
COVID
the
committee.
president's
You referred Cuomo to
I think
the U.S.
that came from the
Attorney's
Oversight
Office.
Committee. I think it came from Chairman Comer,
Okay.
if I remember right.
Well, a slightly different tone, I'm saying today. Anyway, thank you so much, Chairman. Appreciate it. We're monitoring.